You have to actively challenge racist policies and ideas. It's not enough to just, not be racist personally.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get straight to the essential stuff. Today we're really getting into a major work. Ibram X. Kendi's Stamped from the Beginning. It's quite the journey. Might just reshape how you think about a big part of American history. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and it's important to see Kendi's book not just as history, right? It's more like a fundamental rethink of how we even understand racism. Our goal here is really to pull out those core insights, the things that could genuinely shift your perspective, give you a new way to analyze things.
And Kendi jumps right in with this pretty radical central idea. He argues that racist ideas, they weren't really born from ignorance or hate like we often assume.
Yeah.
No, he says they were deliberately created, almost like manufactured.
Exactly, manufactured to justify and keep discriminatory policies going.
That just flips the common narrative completely, doesn't it? It's not just semantics, it's a whole different way of looking at the root of the problem.
Right, and what's fascinating there is Kendi's claim that these self-serving policies, they come first, and only after that are the racist ideas sort of built up to defend them. This view really reframes the whole history of inequality, It connects it straight to power, to who benefits economically from these systems.
It's definitely a provocative idea, that policies come before the ideas. It goes against, what a lot of us probably learned or felt intuitively. So if that's the engine driving things, how does Kendi sort of break down the different types of thinking that have emerged over time?
Good question. He gives us this really useful framework. 3 main ways people have approached race throughout U.S. history. First, you've got the segregationist view. Pretty straightforwardly, based on the idea that black people are inherently inferior, so separation is needed.
Okay, that one's familiar.
Yeah.
Then there's the assimilationist idea. Now, this one sounds maybe more positive on the surface, but Kendi argues it's still problematic. It suggests black people can sort of improve by adopting white cultural norms and values.
But the problem there, as Kendi points out, is it puts all the pressure on the marginalized group to change. It doesn't challenge the system that says those white norms are superior to begin with. It's subtle, but really key.
Right, it avoids questioning the standard itself. Okay, so what's the third one?
The third is the anti-racist approach. And this one's totally different. It's grounded in the belief in the equality of all racial groups. And crucially, it demands active work. You have to actively challenge racist policies and ideas. It's not enough to just, not be racist personally. You have to push back against the system.
Actively push back. And Kendi doesn't just leave these as theories, right? He shows how this policy first thing plays out. He traces it through history, looking at key figures like Cotton Mather back in colonial times.
Yeah, using religious arguments to essentially justify the slave trade's brutality.
Or Thomas Jefferson, writing about liberty while enslaving people. Kendi argues Jefferson's racist ideas didn't cause him to support slavery.
Right, they emerged because he needed to justify this incredibly profitable system he was part of. The ideas served the policy.
And he carries that thread forward, doesn't he? Through abolitionists like William Lloyd Garrison, then figures like W.E.B. Du Bois in the 20th century.
All the way up to Angela Davis in the modern era, it really lays out this long, ongoing struggle over these ideas, fueled by policy needs.
So throughout all this history, Kendi really hits on the power of language,
Yeah.
right? And imagination.
Absolutely. How language and the stories we tell ourselves shape how people see the world and ultimately what policies get made or accepted. These aren't just like abstract thoughts floating around. They have real-world consequences, which kind of raises a big question for you listening right now. What stories or narratives are you taking in? And could there be underlying policies or interests that those narratives are maybe subtly supporting?
So what does all this mean for you then? Taking in this huge reframing from Kendi. Well, his work obviously gives you knowledge, but maybe more importantly, it offers a lens, a way to challenge assumptions about racism you might not even know you have. It's definitely started important conversations. And it gives you tools, right? Tools to understand and maybe even fight racism today by looking past just individual feelings.
Yeah, looking towards the systems, the policies that create and maintain racist ideas in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. If Kendi's right, that policies really drive the ideas. Think about today. What current policies might be shaping the ideas we have right now about race, or really about any kind of difference? How could understanding that connection empower you to look more critically at the world? To question the narratives that seem maybe a little too convenient for those in power?
Grab Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram X. Kendi now on sale for $15.95. Don't miss this chance to build good habit and achieve remarkable results. Buy now, today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.